Binoculars. You need them, I need them, just about everybody needs them if you are an outdoor person. You watch sport, you go hunting, nature watch. Oh, there's 100 different reasons why. Let's look at a binocular. First of all, front part, these larger lenses are called objective lenses. These are the ocular lenses. This part goes towards your eye. This part goes to whatever it is that you're looking at out there. There's no sense in going any larger than 50, the number 50 mm around here. Just simply because this portion gathers the light that comes through, bounces around, and if you have a real expensive elite pair, you have electronics that magnify that light, and you can see in very, very low light situations. You can spend anywhere from below $20, $13, $12, $13, $14 for a little small pair of binoculars, but you're not going to expect a lot from them because everything that you need is not there. The better quality ones are usually a little bit larger, provided that they have quality lenses and optical coating, usually multiple coatings on the lenses. They come with a little bit of armor on there, if you want to call that, heavy plastic to prevent it in case you do drop it, prevent it from getting hurt. Binoculars are great for that purpose. They will help you out and help you get to your objective. Whatever it is, if you're walking in a canyon, you're looking at something in the sky, you're looking at something miles away, or you're just several hundred yards away and you want to get closer. But then you could possibly use something that's a little bit lighter and get by with that. I recommend a medium-sized binocular, a quality one. Now these here are all basically known as budget binoculars, but they work just as good as those $500 or $600 ones. You want to make sure they have multiple lens coatings, optical coatings on there, the good quality stuff, good quality lenses. They have a good reputation, more or less waterproof. I hate to say anything's waterproof unless it's in a plastic bag or a plastic bubble or something, but they're highly water resistant. This is 2025. A lot of things we can take for granted in this year because of the progress of technology. These here are ulcers. They're good quality for $30. Now here's ones that get a little bit more expensive for about $50. $50, somewhere around there. Hate to give you prices because prices fluctuate so much, but just stay with something that's budget. You don't need a $3,000 pair of binoculars, and yes, they do have them that expensive, but why do you need them? You can get by with a budget pair of quality binoculars. You just have to look around and see what you've got. Hunting and fishing is what I got them for. Actually, is for hunting and looking for adventure in the woods, checking things out archaeologically wise, and also just taking a look, see what's going on. This is a magnification of a 12 times magnification. What do I mean by that? This is a 12 by 25. 25 would be the objective lens size out here, and 12 would be the magnification. In other words, at 1,000 yards, if you looked at something distant 1,000 yards away, what you would see is something only 273 feet. That's what it works out to be mathematically with these particular binoculars away. So you see they magnify a lot, and you can only go so high and then it doesn't work anymore. It's just too much. You couldn't hold them steady, and you'd have to put them on a bipod or go ahead and get the more expensive ones, electronically controlled basically, and they can clear up anything. But then we're talking about thousands of dollars. So keep it short, simple, and sweet for something that is within a budget. And I'm talking a super reasonable budget of $100 and below. You can go up to about $150. Like I said, from $30 on up, sky's the limit on these things. And you can even get some super military type binoculars. It's up to you what you want. But what I recommend is the budget ones. You don't need $1,000 pair of binoculars. Unless that's what you want, and you got plenty of money. A reasonable cost for a pair of binoculars. We'll look at Amazon, see what they've got today. These are Rohan, Oser. They're good quality. They've been around for several years. I've had them out. Got a couple pair of each. A little bit larger, easier light gathering because they got the larger objective lenses. They have good coating, lens coating in there. They have good glass in there, meaning the lenses. So look around. There's plenty of things out there. Lots of choices to make. But if you want to save money, there's no sense in getting a $1,000 pair of glasses or a $500 pair of binoculars, commonly referred to slang it's as glasses. These are good. These will get the job done. Now let's see what Amazon's got, and I'll talk you through all that. All right, now we're on the page for binoculars. Let's see what we have going on here. A lot of different prices, a lot of different names. The big secret to a lot of the high quality binoculars is, number one, they use good quality glass to begin with. And number two, the chemical coatings, the light amplification chemical coatings that are put on the lenses. That helps a great deal, and it gets a little expensive. For the most part, in 2025, today is March the 31st, 2025. You can go ahead and get a pretty decent pair of binoculars from about $30 and up. Now, under $100, you are going to have a good pair of binoculars. If you want to spend $2,000 or $3,000 for a pair of binoculars, no problem. We can look at those too. But what you want to do is look at something that is made for you. Something that's not too heavy, something that's not going to burden you carrying it. Because weight is always a concern when you are going on a hiking or backpacking adventure. So, what is it that you want to do? Do you want to look at something fairly close or something super far away? What we have to do is strike that happy medium. Here is one. And it does say overall pick. I have these. The Osers. 12 by 25. It's a good compact binoculars. And it's true what it says there in the advertising sentences here. For adults, kids, large eyepiece, waterproof binocular with low light vision, high-powered, easy-focus binoculars for bird watching, outdoor, hunting, travel, sightseeing. And today, the 31st of March, 2025, apparently their prime spring deal is on, so you can pick these up for less than $30, $27.53. So you choose the binoculars that work for you, but let us look a little bit closer. Here, 12 by 40, 12 by 25. There's a difference here. Now this one over here, 12 by 40, 21's 24. This would be a good set for you, but look at the features that are available. Look down. We'll get in some that's a little bit more expensive, not a whole lot. Affordability is relevant. It basically means whatever money you have to spare that you want to spend on the product that you wish to buy. We can get very expensive. You can even go down to Walmart, buy a pair of binoculars about this size. $14. This here is on Amazon, of course, but you can get the ones down there at Walmart or any other store like that. The cheapo ones, they said, they probably don't have the high expensive end coating on the lenses to make them better. If that's what you need, that's what will work for you. I recommend to stay with a medium priced one under $100, up to $50, or even all the way up to $100. When we start getting up to $249, $400, $500, some of the more expensive ones. Now they're just showing you the ones. Here you go, Swarovski, $2,000, $1,999. You really don't need those binoculars. You don't have to show off to anyone. You don't have to rub elbows with the rich and famous. But if you have the money, that's what you want, go for it. Something $100 and under should suit your purposes for hiking, for backpacking, for hunting, whatever it is you need. When you want to look at something many miles away, you are going to have to spend some more money. Spotting scopes. Spotting scopes are great. I have them. They suit their purposes. The capabilities there, it's been there for a while. There are many binoculars on the market that have electronic amplification, among other things, laser finders. And the good thing about the binoculars today, some are made without any adapters. You can buy the binoculars that do have the recording devices built into the binocular themselves. And of course, this gets expensive. However, as I'll show you here in a little bit, you can buy kits and adapters to attach your cell phone, to attach a movie camera, whatever it is that you have, to your spotting scopes or your binoculars, and you can get an absolutely phenomenal picture. It is great. You don't have to walk 5 or 6 miles up and down out of the canyon to check that cave opening out across the canyon to the other side. You can do it real easy with your binoculars. Popular ones that are available. Let's click on these. They're not that heavy. You can read all the details over here. High-powered large eyepiece binoculars. 12 times magnification. In other words, what you see with the naked eye will be magnified by 12 times closer. 1,000 yards. If you're looking at something 1,000 yards away, it's going to be the same as if you look at it only 273 feet away. For the money, you can't beat a pair of binoculars in this price category. Highly recommend you to make a decision. What is it that you want to do with them? Now, a lot of people are concerned with weight. A lot of binoculars, the larger they are, the more they're going to weigh. The smaller they are, there's going to be a cap right around there that the binoculars just can't go below a certain weight. If you get the real tiny ones, sure, they could have expensive glass in them, the best coating on those optical lenses possible, and yet they still will not do as good as a pair of $30 binoculars right here. Some of the larger ones, some of the more elite binoculars, but the elite line of binoculars will cost a lot. They will work phenomenally for you. But you have to look at things on a budget. If you're like me or most other people that are out there, you got a certain amount of money you can spend, and not even if you want to spend it, but around $100 or a little bit more or a little bit under or a whole lot under, you can still get a decent pair of binoculars that will suit your needs. It's that simple. So it all depends upon what you want.